When I saw the trailer in the movie theater, I actually laughed out loud because it looked like it was just perpetuating this myth of the human shield. The entire trailer was this human shield kind of imagery that's been invoked from Iraq to Palestine. I mean, did you get that sense? You watched it. I feel bad for you. You had to watch the movie.
I mean, so the movie is actually, I mean, it's a good movie in the sense that it's very well produced. If you are just completely ignorant about the Iraq War, then it seems like a great movie, right? But yeah, it's, I mean, there is like a couple moments where there's children around and there is a sort of human shield type type thing going on. But I would say it's actually a little bit worse because what the movie does is almost every single child or woman in the movie, or every Iraqi for that matter, is a terrorist who's like trying to kill U.S. soldiers. And the really creepy part of it is it's almost like it elevates Marines to this level, this like status of civilian, where they're like helpless, and Chris Kyle's this godlike figure who has to snipe people down to save him.
There's been no other film dealing with the complicated issue of war that has generated more stunningly vapid, mindless, airheaded, blowhard idiocy than American Sniper, the book and movie about a man who was sent into the teeth of a war zone filled with more terrorists of all ages and sexes than any central casting could conjure up. What you just saw was a report from the global news service Russia Today, which is, at its core, owned and operated by the Russian government, spitting out nothing more than the communist bile directed by madman Vladimir Putin, all for his own enjoyment of seeking to continue snow-jobbing the Russian people into believing they need to sacrifice another couple of generations in order to hate the West and feed the Swiss bank accounts of he and his co-conspirators in blackmail, extortion, the overthrow of peaceful governments, and murder. Alleged, of course. The journalist reporting in the story, Rania Khalek, is as much a real journalist as Kim Kardashian is a brain surgeon, and in many ways possesses the same qualities as the American reality TV star. Plenty of air and not a single shred of credibility. She's proud to be an anti-Semite who despises anything Israeli, proud to be anti-American, dodges any attempt to discern where her journalism background comes from, is a complete fraud who is little more than a community mouthpiece. What dribbles from her maw could only be considered intelligent if being compared to the verbal musings of a sea slug. The host is Abby Martin, another Putin puppet, happily taking a paycheck while her boss invades peaceful countries like the Ukraine, who couldn't get a job as a real American broadcast journalist because she's an avowed 9/11 truther who knows fully well in her own empty head that the American government was behind it all. And her chops to be host of a news program are that she was part of the Occupy Oakland movement. In other words, one who despises the American government, the American military, believes we're just in the Middle East to satisfy a bloodlust, but is happy to turn those Russian rubles into good old-fashioned American bucks every 2 weeks so she can continue to have everything that makes her a good journalist. Lots of hairspray and a cozy apartment in Washington, D.C. Bad enough, there are the intellectually challenged, or in the case of these two hand puppets, the intellectually drained, who are unfortunate enough to view and perhaps even believe their comedy routine. Then again, they are not the only ones who wouldn't know impartial truth if it smacked them in the puss.
He's a psychopath patriot, and we love him. You know, I read some of the quotes from the real Chris Kyle. He said, "I hate the damn savages," talking about the Iraqis, "and I've been fighting and I always will. I love killing bad guys. Even with the pain, I loved what I was doing. Maybe war isn't really fun, but I certainly was enjoying it." I don't know. Eisenhower once said, "I hate war as only a soldier who has lived it can." I just don't see this guy in the same league as Eisenhower. I'm sorry. And if you're a Christian, I know this is a Christian country, I hate the damn savages and don't give a what happens. That doesn't seem like a Christian thing to say.
Bill Maher has every right to sit back in his cushy chair and brainwash the mental midgets of society. People like Chris Kyle fight for it every day. And they're proud to defend such pathetic pinheads because that's what America's all about. Defending the defenseless, which include the foolish, the stupid, seeking to wipe away those who beat and torture women and children, while the Nimrods of life torture intelligent people with their babble. And get it right when it comes to having no qualms about delivering a righteous justice to those who, if they were in power, would disembowel people like Maher and hang them from a meat hook because he didn't follow their path. Bill Maher is no better informed about this subject matter than the bought and paid for apologists and truth twisters from what is nothing more than Russian state media. See what happens when alleged comics and phony journalists get within speaking distance of a microphone? You get a serious dip in viewer intelligence, which can be remedied. That's why we still have channel changers and off buttons. That's also why we still have a portion of America as dumb as a box of partisan rocks. Thankfully, as these frauds spit out their bile, we become smarter every day by calling them out and ensuring those with an IQ above that of Jell-O make smarter choices. That's telling it like it is. Rock on, true believers.